Look, I like these Bills too, and I think the future's bright for them, but there's some stuff they got to work on. Simply, I think I need them to get another wide receiver. I need them to get another wide receiver who's putting up big numbers. You got Beasley in the slot. You need another wide receiver on the outside that's going to put up some big numbers. And simply, man, grab you a tight end, man. I need the Bills to get them like a top 5 tight end on this team. We need this team to, because obviously I feel like right now when you look at the AFC, you got 2 teams to beat. Or as a matter of fact, I'm going to add the Browns in there. I want to add the Ravens, but I'm not going to add them just yet. But I think right now I'm putting Browns over the Ravens. When I'm looking at teams total, I'm putting Browns over the Ravens. So I feel like right now the top 3 teams to beat in the AFC are going to be number 1, the Chiefs, obviously, number 2, the Bills, and then number 3, the Browns. Because I think the Browns' offense next season is going to be world class. I think Browns will probably be in the conference championship next season. But I think when you look at what the Bills are lacking, you clearly saw it this game. And don't say it's the defense, because it's not. No defense is going to stop this team. It's just that simple. It's kind of like the whole Alabama-Georgia game. It doesn't matter how good your defense is, they won't stop a team like this. That's what I want the Bills to focus on this offseason, is really just adding more pieces to this offense. You got you a speed guy in Isaiah McKenzie. Maybe you can find another speed guy. But they really need some help. They need another guy on the outside.
Rondale Moore is in the draft.
Rondale Moore would be great for the Bills, and he will be there. That's a guarantee. He will be there. He will be there when they come to select.
The only problem with him is injury concern.
He's injury prone.
That's the only problem with him.
If he's healthy though, that dude could be a threat. Don't know what his full potential is, to be honest, because we really didn't see it in college. I have no idea what his full potential is, but he is a beast. Could be a guy to go with. But if I'm a Bills fan, I'm looking to the future. You guys, your first time winning a playoff game, you guys get to the conference championship. Heads high, man. This team is great, but obviously you haven't reached that hump needed to beat the Chiefs yet. And I feel like y'all can see where you lack it, but don't think this team needs defense. They need offense. Stack up that offense. You see what's making the Chiefs so great. I think Josh Allen will continue to get better, so I'm not worried about, we don't have a quarterback as good as Patrick Mahomes. Well, you got a team that can be, factor in other places. Come on, Josh Allen's a great player. Ultimately, you may need some defensive pieces up front, but if you can at least stop the run game, that'll help you.
Ed Oliver built different.
Final game of his career, he fought his coach at Houston. Come on, man. One of the lowest rated at his position in football. Let's stop clowning this team. But they're on the rise, man. I like this Bills team. They were definitely one of the more favorite teams I had watching this year. They kind of clapped my Steelers and clowned them. This man Josh Allen said, "You let them do all the dance and we'll do the winning." I'm like, oh my God, this man really said that in 4K, and then smacked us on national TV. I can't believe it, man.
Corvette.
And it's funny because usually when a player would diss our team like that, I would hate him, but I just simply don't. I don't hate this dude at all. I like this Bills team.
Look, we've had we always had this conversation whenever draft comes up, and it's who's the best quarterback. And I told you that year, I said Josh Allen's great. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he was in a draft with Lamar. Lamar's won an MVP. He did win a Heisman, but he won an MVP. But right. We know the potential this team has now, mm-hmm. and for all the Bills fans out there, it's only uphill from here. You're only going up. You have an above average defense at worst. You have a amazing potential at offense. You got Stephon Diggs putting up a career year. You have Josh Allen putting up a career year. You have who's their tight end, Dawson Knox. I think he's great. You have Cole Beasley in the slot putting up. I think he had a career year in the slot. Devin Singletary. I think he's in his first or second. He's second year, right? I think his second year.
Yep.
He's a good running back. Obviously you can get better at that position. Mm-hmm. This team has a lot of potential. It's just really it's come down to the off seasons for them now. They just need to get those final pieces.
Keep building that offense. And you mentioned Devin Singletary. Like I said, I like him. He just has to be better, man. 6 carries, 17 yards isn't enough, especially when this team had a 9-point lead at one point. So there's a lot they got to work on. You got to think they're possibly losing both coordinators, and they've already lost their offense. If I'm correct, he's already gotten ready for another job. Well, he's already signed on to one. I think their defense could be gone too. I think the Texans were looking at the defensive coordinator for the Bills. So they're gonna have 2 new coordinators for this team next season. It's gonna be really interesting to see where this team moves from here. To be quite frankly honest with you, but I'm very excited to see this team. Like I said, man, get you a wide receiver who can play on the outside, who can put up some decent yardage. And like I said, you guys need a tight end. Like you said, Dawson Knox is great, but I want a better receiving tight end, and you can find one. I'm telling you.
If you're taking a wide receiver in the draft at the Bill spot, you probably gonna take Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore is the guy.
Or Rashad Bateman.
The thing is, Rondale Moore is more like Cole Beasley. He's a slot guy. Rondale Moore is not somebody you put on the outside. I'd probably go with Rashad Bateman. So I'd say Rashad Bateman would be a great pick for them. Guy who can play on the outside, big, lengthy, plays the ball great in the air. Good guy.
If they go tight end, obviously Kyle Pitts isn't going to be there.
No.
So I would look for another player in Florida, Brevin Jordan from Miami. He's a great tight end. I didn't really watch him this past year, but he's a great receiving tight end. I've heard great things about him.
I mean, if I'm reaching into the Florida bag, I'm picking up Kadarius Toney. That's another player I feel like is going to be slept on in this draft. He could do some damage. I think he'll be drafted around like the 3rd round or so.
Probably.
That dude might be a dog. He's fast.
He could.
Didn't see his full potential at Florida because you got to think he really only played 1 season with a quarterback throwing decent yardage. So it'll be interesting to see what he does.